Well, students, good evening to all of you. So, guys, today we are going to discuss paper 3 notes, right? Last Sunday, I have shared the full-fledged notes as well as last year's solved paper of paper 3 with you, right, guys? So, these are the notes, okay? I have already shared with you guys. So, what we are going to discuss today, we are going to discuss the, notes of paper 3, right? And next Sunday, you have to appear for the test. Okay. So 2 units would come in the test. Test would be 1.5 hours, 2 long questions and 2 short questions. Same on the pattern of your final year exams. Right. So 1 week before, I have given you the notes, and even I have told you, these questions would come. Right. So, guys, in these exams, B.Ed exams, these are the lengthy exams. Within a 3 hours, you have to fill the 40 pages, right? And your strategy would be for a long questions, you have to fill these 7 pages, and within a 3 hour, within a half an hour, you have to finish the, first question. So in your full-fledged paper, 80 marks paper, so there would be 4 sections, right? 4 long questions you have to do, 4 short questions you have to do. Okay. So what I do that, I open the last year paper so that side by side you can see that. It would be easy for you. Okay. So see it. This is a last year paper, right? ये देखिए, first of all, learning and teaching. This is a 80 marks paper. Okay, guys. So guys, abhi now, your 2 papers full-fledged have finished. Okay. So one or, only 5 or 10% syllabus is, if it is, remaining, so we will cover it. Okay. So more than 90% we have covered it, right, guys? Okay. Now, what I expect from all of you, you should start, writing, you should start, giving the test. Okay. Because this whole thing you have to learn, right, guys? So it would be easy, if you start side by side, so that there would be a no rush, in the last. Because in the last, May or June, May, that Anna, we would also be busy in the seated exams, in the, new admissions and others. So guys, I advise to all of you, okay, your 2 papers have already finished. You give the test, you make your notes. I have already shared the notes with you. Okay. So you finish your, all the 7 papers, right, guys? So see it. Now I'm going to discuss with the strategy to get a very good marks. Okay. So just see that, in the 80 marks paper, you have the, 5 sections, right? One is a compulsory sections and others are 4 sections. Ye dekho, unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and unit 4. Right? So if you read the instruction, it is written, first compulsory question is, it is mandatory, right? So these all the short questions, right? 4 into 4 and carries the 4 marks, 4 into 4, 16, right? Means total are the 5 sections. Every sections carries 16 marks. So 16 into 5, 80 marks. 80 marks का आपका पेपर है, ये देखिए 80 marks, right? First section compulsory है. बाकी rest of the sections you have to attempt one question. Rest of the sections you have to attempt one questions, right, guys? So papers are easy, but papers are lengthy, guys. Okay, trust me. Okay, you have to fill the 7 pages because now 40 pages comes in the 40 sheets comes in the exams. Okay, and you have to fill the up to the last. Only then you can get a very good marks, right? So this paper we are discussing. Okay, notes I have already shared with you. So we will discuss only the 2 part up to the unit 2, right? And next Sunday, you have to appear for this test. Okay, guys. So I minimize this PPT and I start the notes. Okay. So these are the notes. Okay. So basically it is based upon the last year solved paper. Okay. Once you see the last year solved paper, so guys, it is covering your whole syllabus. Okay. we start from first, side by side, we open the last year paper also, right? So first question is compulsory section. There are 4 short answers. First is instruction, then collaborative learning, brainstorming, and educational implications of Bandura's learning theory. Okay. So we start with the instruction. Okay. So guys, you can start from here. Okay. From page number 3. Okay. This PDF I have already shared with you, right? So I have gone through all the, all the notes. Okay. And whatever the important points I have colored as a red, so that, I thought when I take the class, it would be easy for you to understand. Okay. This session is already going to be recorded. Okay. So you can check this session later on also. Okay. Compare with your notes. You can pause the video and you can again play the videos. Okay. So you can learn all the things. And trust me, today's session is very important. Okay. So guys, last year questions came instruction. Okay. So instructions kya cheez hoti hai? What is instruction? Okay. So you have to understand instruction. It is a part of the education. Okay, full-fledged, we are dealing with the full-fledged educational process, teaching learning process, right? We have to talk more and more about the education. Okay, we are discussing the B.Ed syllabus. What is a B.Ed syllabus? B.Ed is a teaching methodology course. Okay, don't compare it or don't think that this syllabus is same as you have covered your BSc, BCom, BA. Okay. It is not like that. Okay. Here, what you have to learn, how you have to teach. Okay. So whenever you have to learn these syllabus, you have to keep in your mind, you are the teacher, and from that way you have to teach to the students. Okay. In this teaching methodology course, right, there are different strategies, all the concepts related with the teaching learning process. Unless or until you get these concepts, only then guys you can teach effectively to the students. Okay, for example, there is a question instruction. If you don't know about what is the difference between instruction and education, right, if you don't know about the what is the difference between education and literacy, right, so guys, you cannot teach effectively to the students, because teacher is not the teacher. Okay, unless teacher is not the teacher if he or she is not the learner first. Okay, you should have the knowledge. So there is a question instruction. Instructions kya hai? You have to understand instruction, it is a part of the education. Instruction is given by the instructor, right? For example, there is a computer instructor. Okay, he will give you the instruction. Okay, and his thought is only, I have to give the instruction irrespective of student is getting or not. Okay, but guys, you have to work on the education. What is the education? Education is a comprehensive term. Education means it is a activity of it is a long activity, it is a continuous process. Okay, so education, it is a comprehensive term. Instruction, it is only a part of the education. Okay, side by side we see that the answer, it is written, instruction is oftenly used synonymously with the teaching. Okay, instruction teaching bhi nahi hoti hai. Okay, but often akin to the skill of training rather than to education in a broad sense. Okay. Okay. We study what are the characteristics of instruction. Then we will come to know about the instruction and we can differentiate the instruction with the education. Okay. So whatever you are doing, you are all the 7 papers, guys, this is the education basically. And education is a never ending process, right? And what would be happen in the instruction? There would be an instructor, there would be a short syllabus, right? So the purpose is to give the instruction to the student, nothing else, right? So you cannot become an effective teacher. You can become an effective teacher only when you have the full control of, right, in the educational process, what is going on. Okay, you should be aware of these all the things. अब ये देखिए characteristics of instruction. Instruction is a integral part of the education. It often goes on when a group of learners are there. It is not possible in the vacuum. Instruction is not spontaneous. Rather, it is a pre-planned activity. Okay, it helps in giving knowledge systematically. Right? अब ये देखिए, you know, what are the characteristics of instruction? It gives the knowledge systematically. Okay, but being teacher, we have to educate the student, right? Being teacher, we have to stimulate the learning power of the student, right? We don't have to put the knowledge into the mind of the student. Okay, rather we have to arouse the learning power of the student, right? So we should know that being teacher, what are the instructions, what is teaching, what is education. Okay, so I think, you know, the concept of instruction is clear to you. The process of instructions go on in a specific context only, right? The aim of instruction is acquisitions of a factual information, right? So sometimes happens na, if you know the, you know, factual information, you think that you have become a teacher. Okay, so teacher jo hai, teacher is related with the, he should know all the things happening in the educational process. Okay. Okay, the next question is the collaborative learning, right? In the side by side, we open the paper. Ye dekhiye, instructions we are done. Second is a collaborative learning. Okay, so what is a collaborative learning? So as the name suggested, cooperative learning is the educational approach of this para, you know, I'm studying. Collaborative learning is the educational approach of using groups to enhance learning through working together. But as the name suggested, na, collaborative learning. Okay, so it is the educational approach of using groups to enhance learning through working together. Groups of 2 or more learners work together under the collaborative learning. Groups of 2 or more learners work together to solve problems, complete tasks, or learn new concepts. So guys, this is a learning method. This is a learning strategy. You should add in your teaching. Teaching does not mean come in the class, see from the book, putting into the mind of the student and finishing the syllabus. Right? So these are a lot of activities. Now you have come to know that there is a, you know, type of learning also, which is known as the collaborative learning. Okay. What we should do that, there should be a variety in the teaching. You have seen that now in some schools, you know, teacher is teaching, you know, why the students, you know, becomes a bore, huh? And you know, because of the stereotyping learning, stereotyping teaching of the student by the teacher, right? So everyday teacher is coming in the class, giving knowledge, looking from the book and putting into the mind of the student, nothing else. So guys, these all the things now you have to do that. Ab you have come to know that ki collaborative learning mein what we have to do, that we have to make the groups. Okay, so that they can work together, they can solve the problems, complete the task, and they can learn the new concepts. Okay, so this should be your approach. Your approach is not to show yourself how much knowledge you have, right? So your approach should be, you have to arousing the learning power of the student so that student can solve his or her problem by himself or herself. This is called the teaching, right? Got it? Abhi dekhiye, this approach activity engages learner to the process and synthesize information and concepts rather than using rote memorization of facts and figure. Ab guys, what happens if you add this activity in your teaching process? Guys, you can stop the rote learning of the student. Okay, so when you make the groups and you give the some problem, they are discussing, they are working together. Okay, so they are speaking actually. That's why now you have seen in my class, I give, you know, a lot of space to all of you to speak that. in today's class, okay, you know, it is a recorded session, but you know, before the recorded session, I was asking from you the name of the paper, right? So this is the meaning of the teaching. This is the duty of the teacher. You know, always engage the student, okay, in any of the activities, right? So learners work with each other on project where they must collaborate as a group to understand the concept being presented to them. Huh? So I think collaborative learning, you have come to know that. Okay. You know, my purpose is to clear the concept in front of you, providing the notes. Now you have to learn by yourself, right, guys? So concept has already cleared, right? In a very deep way, I have, you know, cleared this concept to you. Okay. So these are the advantages of a collaborative learning. Okay, you can learn that. अब third क्या है? What is the third? You know, open your paper. Instructions we are done. Collaborative learning we are done. Now the brainstorming. Okay, brainstorming भी एक teaching strategy है. Brainstorming, right? So abhi I have just discussed na कि you know, don't do the stereotype of teaching, come in the class and you know, start teaching to the student, putting the you know, knowledge into the mind of the student, okay, and you think that you have taught very well, right? So guys, you know, this is not a you know, kind of teaching learning process. Basically there are a lot of activities in the teaching learning process. Unless you are not aware of these all the teaching methods, teaching strategies, learning strategies, theories of learning, theories of teaching, okay, so you cannot make the variety in your teaching. Okay, so what happens with the brainstorming? अब आपने देखा होगा, you know, means very few teachers ना, मतलब they use this strategy. Okay, मतलब what you are doing that, basically, if you are not aware of this strategy, brainstorming, and you have joined a school and teaching to the student, so what you are doing that? Basically, you are the one who is killing the reasoning power of the student, right? If you don't know about the teaching methodology, it happens, guys, because I have already told now many times. I have told you that student is never ever weak on this planet. Weak is always teacher, right? So try to understand brainstorming kya hoti hai, right? So in a brainstorming na, teacher gives a one problem to the student, okay, and allow the student to talk on this problem, okay, and every person can give any kind of view on that particular problem, right? So what happens, guys, from these ways na, you are arousing, stimulating the emotions of the student, okay, so that they could speak. Getting? So this is all about the brainstorming. ये देखिए, okay, we see in the notes. ये देखो brainstorming, meaning of brainstorming. Brainstorming is a strategy or tool of teaching used by the teacher in which maximum or all the students participate while responding or giving personal views, ideas on one topic. Okay, it is written topic, on one topic. The idea given by each student is not evaluated. Means, you know, teacher allows the students, you can, you know, give, you know, any idea, okay, on that particular topic. अब आप ये देखिए, next paragraph. Brainstorming is a group problem solving method that involves the spontaneous contributions of the creative ideas and solutions. So once you know, start brainstorming in your class now, okay, students start giving the creative ideas and solutions. Okay, and if you are not aware of the brainstorming and you have joined the school and teaching to the student, so guys, what you are doing that? Anna, do you not think that you are, you know, killing the, you know, these, you know, creative ideas and solutions of the students? Because what you have started, stereotype teaching, you are putting into the mind of the students and not allowing the students to, you know, speak in the class. Got it? So that's why, you know, beard has become the mandatory to become the teacher, right? This technique requires intensive, freewheeling discussion in which every member of the group is encouraged to think aloud and suggest as many ideas as possible based on their diverse knowledge. Okay, I think you have understood about the brainstorming. Okay, rest guys, okay, examples are given and advantages are given. Okay, because concept is clear to you, so then you can learn by yourself, right? Next question is, fourth question is educational implications of Bandura's learning theory, right? So guys, you should know that. Okay, learning theory given by the Bandura, तो ये किस base के ऊपर है, right? You should know that about the trial and error theory. You should know about the classical conditioning theory, है ना? You will come to know a lot of things. Okay, and based on my experience, I discuss with you guys, give at least 1 hour daily to your study for your professional growth. Okay, for your professional growth. Okay, once you are giving study and whatever you have studied and you again are revising that, so it makes you confident. Okay, और कोई confident और वो चीजें नहीं होती हैं, right? The thing is that you are doing practice. Okay, you are feeding, giving good views to your mind. You have to train your mind. ये देखो कितना अच्छा पॉइंट निकल के आ गया, right? With the discussions. Okay, you are the teacher. You have to sharp your X. X होता है ना कुल्हाड़ी. तो what is your कुल्हाड़ी? X क्या चीज है? This is your X. You have to sharp every time. Okay, so that you should be able to give the answer, right? Okay, you should go to the different conferences, seminars, right guys? So up now, we talk about educational implications of a Bandura's learning theory. Bandura, ये देखिए, Bandura has given this question है. Bandura has given the social learning theory. Okay, social learning theory proposed by Albert Bandura emphasizes the importance of observing, modeling, and imitating the behavior, attitudes, and emotional reactions of others. Social learning theory considers, अब ये देखो, I have increase the size of this line because from that line now you will come to know that what that theory says. This theory says that how both environmental and cognitive factors interact to influence the human learning and behavior. Got it? How environmental and cognitive factors interact to influence the human learning and behavior. Guys, you are the person to modify the behavior of the student, even behavior of the nation. You are the torch bearer to the society. You are the teacher. Teacher जानते हैं कौन होता है? Who is teacher? Teacher is the real image of Brahma. Brahma कौन है? Who gives the knowledge, wisdom to the world. So you are the teacher. And trust me, many countries have developed because of the good teachers. Right? Country can't be developed without the good teachers, without the effective teachers. So Bandura learning theory talked about how environmental and cognitive factors interact to influence the human learning and behavior. Right? So guys, actually now these all the things are now interrelated. Right? Matlab, if you have having the knowledge of the classical conditioning theory, right? So within a second, you will come to know that what the Bandura says. Okay. The problem is that you don't study actually. Okay. You start your study. Then, things are interrelated. All the 5 papers, 7 papers are interrelated with each other. Okay. All right. You will see the sum of the topics in the different paper and different papers. Okay. The whole you have to see. Right. So I will advise to you, don't clear your beard with just merely giving the paper. This is a very good syllabus and long learning syllabus. At least now it will change your behavior also, guys. Trust me. Okay. Once you go through the, this syllabus. This is a very good syllabus. You will come to know that you will become a very good citizen. In fact, teacher to aap banoge very good, right? So you will come to know that, yeah, this is the meaning of the teaching actually. Okay, I was thinking that was totally wrong, right? So Bandura talk about, ab dekhiye what happened. Classical conditioning theory and trial and learning theory given by the, who has given by trial and error theory given by the Thorndike. Classical, it is in your syllabus. Classical conditioning theory is given by the Ivan Pavlov. Okay, both have given, na? But actually, to whom they belong, they were the behaviorist. Okay, they believe that they can change modify the behavior of the student by external force. Okay, malab they didn't talk about the cognitive. Okay, they didn't talk about the feelings, memories, emotions that plays a important role in learning also. Okay, that's why they are called as a behaviorist. Okay, so environmental to wo ho gaya, right? अब cognitive factor जो है, cognitive factor is related with your mind, intellectual, right? Cognitive factor is related with your internal schema, right? It includes the emotions, memories. Okay, so it is all about the cognitive factor. अब Bandura wanted to prove कि cognitive factors and environmental factors, okay, interact to influence the human learning and behavior. So teacher should have the knowledge of behaviorist theories as well as cognitivism also. Teacher should having the knowledge of a behaviorism as well as cognitivism. Okay, because we are learning from every theory. Got it? So Bandura's learning theory, which is basically, it is a social learning theory. It talks about how environmental factor and cognitive factor interact to influence the human learning and behavior, right? So guys, ye dekhiye, educational implications of a Bandura's theory of learning, right? So teacher should act as a role model. Bandura wanted to say, okay, Bandura is saying that teacher as a role model, become the role model in the class. Okay, come proper in the class. Okay, means you should be punctual in the class, right? Teach to the student from core of your heart, right? Whenever you are preparing the lecture of the student one day before, you should have in your mind whatever the knowledge you have to pass that knowledge, so that they should become the such kind of a person, so that they can solve their problem by their self, right guys? So you have to become as a role model. Role play, role of attentions and retentions in learning. ये देखो कहता, according to the Bandura, attentions and retention are important aspect of learning. Thus, these can be taken care of in the learning process. The teacher, very important line hai, the teacher should try to capture the attention of the student. अब देखो ना, the way I'm teaching to you, है ना? Although you are muted, but I think that you are listening to me, right? Because I'm capturing your attention. Okay, your lecture should be like that. Okay, the teacher should try to capture the attention of student by using interesting method and provide practice, so that the information can be retained. ये होता है teacher. Means teacher should capture the attention of the student by your interesting method, right? Emphasizing on the method by your teaching techniques, and involves in the student in the practice. Okay, मतलब kind of any test, kind of any assignment, so that the information can be retained. This is called attention and retention. देखो कितना important point है. तो ये teacher करता है attention and intentions. ठीक है? So all the 4 questions we are done. Okay, rest up you can learn that. Okay, concept is clear to you. Okay. Up now, we open the last year paper. What do you understand by individual difference? right? Describe the dimensions and educational implications of individual differences with the help of a suitable example, right? So here what we have to do, अब ये देखो, ये भी देखना कि it is a question of a 6+10, right? So from that way, na, you have to make the 2-3 headings, right? What do you understand by individual differences? Describe the dimensions and educational implications of a individual differences with the help of a suitable example, right? तो आप ना first you can see that first ये देखिए in the notes, okay, I have defined the individual differences, right? Second is ये देखो dimensions, 3 type of dimensions होती हैं, they are different from each other, they can be different from each other in the term of cognitive ability, preferences, है ना, includes the interest and values and personality, ये देखो तीनों points define किए हैं, preferences and personality. Then educational implications of individual differences, then I defined the educational implications, okay? So from that way, guys, you have to do, right? So what is individual differences? Individual differences, basically what happens, guys, okay, from the first para, it would be clear to you. Dissimilarity is the principle of nature. No two persons are alike. All the individuals differ from each other in many aspects, right? Children born of the same parent and even the twins are not alike. है ना? Means no two persons are alike. They would be different in the terms of interest, aptitude, attitude, personality, intelligence. Okay. So this is called the individual differences basically. Okay. So ये देखिए the change is seen is the physical forms like height, weight, है ना, ये अब physical भी आ गया, height, weight, color में वो भी difference हो गया. Okay. So individual differences, है ना, you have come to know that. So basically the question is demanding what are the dimensions? Means individual can be different from other individual in the cognitive abilities. Cognitive मतलब mental, है ना, mind, है ना, अभी just we are discussed. Okay, they can be different from preferences like interest, values, aptitude, attitudes, okay, and personality also, है ना. कईयों की personality देखा होगा रिजर्व नेचर के होते हैं, कोई दे आर वेरी ओपन. तो ये तीनों चीजें आपको डिफाइन करनी है, राइट? So I think it is, very simple and clear to you. And even, I've mentioned the notes, given the notes to you, because this thing you have to learn, guys. Okay. Concept should be cleared. And educational implications of individual differences. So ये educational implications है. क्या होंगे educational implications? Okay. I ask from you. Have you ever thought there is a individual differences in your class? Okay. Means I'm surprised how you are taking a one lecture and delivering in the class by thinking that you have taught very well. Array, there are individual differences in your class. If you are giving the lecture to 30 students, 30 minds are the different minds. Some are the average, some are intelligent, some are below average. Okay. Some having the good intelligence level, some having the less intelligence level. Okay. Some understand the concept by giving the example, some understand the concept directly, right? So there are a lot of educational implications of individual differences. The very first is that we shouldn't be rigid on the curriculum, on the syllabus. Okay. Syllabus should be made according to the mental level of the students. Okay. What are our priorities? Our priorities is to, make the individual enable so that, he can solve his problem by himself or herself. We have to develop the personality of the student. This is our priority. Right, guys? Even the new education policy may you have seen that many changes have done that. That all goes to in the favor of the student. And it is a very good education policy. Right? So, देखिए educational implications. Aim of education, curriculum, method of teaching should be linked with the individual differences. considering the different abilities and traits individuals. अब ये देखो सेकंड, देखो कितना इंपॉर्टेंट लाइन है. All the students cannot be benefited by one particular method of instruction and a uniform and a rigid curriculum. The teacher has to adopt different types of method of teaching considering individual differences related to the interest needed. Right? So guys, in everything in the educational process, okay, you have to maintain according to the individual differences, according to the mental level of the student, interest level of the student. Okay, you are here, you are there, malab in the school, you are there to improve the personality of the student. Okay, you are there to, improve the harmonious development of the student. This should be your priority. And you have seen that what the, many teachers, do that. They are finishing the syllabus, putting into the mind of the student. This is not a teaching, right? So by doing the B.Ed and educational course, only then you can become a good teacher, effective teachers, right? So these are the educational implications, right? Now we see the next question. Highlight the role of a teacher in relations to the learning strategies, peer tutoring and group learning. Third questions, peer tutoring and group learning. Okay. So guys, ye question, it is almost the same. It is talking about, we are done the brainstorming, collaborative learning. Okay. So similarly, it is already written. It is a learning strategy. Peer tutoring and group learning is a learning strategy. So what happens in a brief, I tell you, okay, you can learn from the notes. Peer tutoring and group learning is a learning strategy where teacher involves the student in order to, stimulate the learning power of the student, right? The only difference in that, in the peer tutoring, what happens, if there are, two students in the peer tutoring, or you can say that, one becomes the teacher and, other becomes the student in the peer tutoring, right? And group learning, what happens in the group learnings, all the students are, they make a group, they solve the problem by, jointly, right? Together they solve the problems. This is a group learning. Peer tutoring, what happens, one becomes a teacher, one has to, understand to the student. So these all the, learning strategies, guys, you should be aware of that. These are the very simple, right? So you can see that, okay. ये देखो peer tutoring क्या चीज होती है. ये देखो peer tutoring offers an inexpressive way to help student with disabilities succeed in learning classrooms, right? ये advantages वगैरह ना. ये देखो peer tutoring increases the student motivation, right? Similarly, role of teacher in peer tutoring क्या होगा? Role play, create a reward system, explain how to give a feedback, provide written prompt. अब ये ग्रुप लर्निंग आ गया. ग्रुप लर्निंग में व्हाट हैपेंस, ए कलेक्शन ऑफ ए पर्संस हु आर इमोशनली, इंटेलेक्चुअली एंड एस्थेटिकली engaged in solving problem, creating products and making meaning and assemblage in which each person learns autonomously and through the ways of a learning of others, right? तो ग्रुप लर्निंग है, राइट? ये ग्रुप लर्निंग के फीचर्स आ गए हैं. The member of the learning group include adults as well as children. Documenting children's learning process helps to make learning visible and shapes the learning and take place. Right, guys? So, ये group learning or peer tutoring you have come to know. Okay, you have to learn from the notes. Okay, next question is Unit 2. Unit 2 में, guys, if you have seen classical conditioning theory or trial and error theory आ गई है ना? So, if you know that full-fledged, I have taken a full-fledged 1 hour lecture on classical conditioning and 1 hour lecture of a trial and error theory, है ना? I have given you the notes. Okay, so देखो सेम आ गया वहां पे. यूनिट 3 में भी आप देख लो. What is teaching? Explain the features and levels of teaching, है ना? 3 levels of a teaching होते हैं ना, right? Memory level, understanding level and reflective level, है ना? Starting में I have cleared, I have given the lectures. Okay, so I close my session here. Okay, 2 units आपके हो गए हैं. Just see in the syllabus. This is your syllabus. ये देखो syllabus. Unit 1, Unit 2. Okay. So Unit 1 में ये देखो learning strategies, collaborative peer tutoring आ गई इसमें. Okay, we are done this. individual differences we are done this. Okay, और ये दोनों theories तो हमने कर ही ली हैं इसमें. ये देखो कनेक्शनिज्म थ्योरी, लर्निंग थ्योरी, कंडीशनिंग थ्योरी, राइट. तो ये स्किनर की रह गई है ओनली वन थ्योरी. ओके, और इधर से बेंड्यूरा थ्योरी भी हो गई है, सोशल एंड कंस्ट्रक्टिव थ्योरी, बेंड्यूरा लर्निंग थ्योरी, राइट. You can see that this is a unit 1 and unit 2, right? So full fledged it has done. Okay, और even unit 3rd में भी ये देखो teaching concept, features and levels of learning. Okay, so first I take the test of these 2 units. Okay, next Sunday exact 10 minutes before the 4 o'clock you will get a test. 4 o'clock you have to start the test, and 1.5 hour you have to give by yourself. Okay, the method main I have discussed with you, right? 7 pages for a long questions, 2.5 pages for a short question. Okay, and half an hour for the long questions, and for a short questions you have to give 15 minutes, because only you get the 15 minutes. Okay, because 4 questions you are attempting in a half an hour, so half an hour into 4, 2 hours. Rest 1 hour you have in a 1 hour. You can attempt the 4 questions by giving the 50 minutes to each. Okay, so from that way you have to do, but you have to keep in mind 6.5 or 7 pages you have to do that. And the important thing is that at least half page should be the conclusion. In the last you have to do the conclusion. Okay, so just give the exam. Okay, let any of the paper come to me for checking. Okay, then I'll discuss in the class, so that you will come to know that how to write it and others. Okay, till then whole of the week you learn only unit 1 or unit 2. Okay guys, so thank you so much for this today's class. Thank you guys.
Sir, I have a question.
हाँ, yes Akriti. Okay.
Sir, जैसे एग्जाम्स में भी एंड ऑल्सो द टेस्ट वी आर सपोज टू गिव ऑन नेक्स्ट संडे, इसके अंदर अगर हम बिना कुछ पढ़े मतलब अपने वर्ड्स में आंसर्स लिख देते हैं एंड नॉट राइटिंग एनीथिंग फ्रॉम द कोर्स मटेरियल, विल दैट बी सफिशिएंट और दैट विल बी लेस? और
it should be actually more and more na, concept should be clear. For example, the questions come from classical conditioning theory. Okay Akriti, right? Define the classical conditioning theory. So you know that matlab from in your views na you can't write, because classical conditioning theory mein you have only write what the Ivan Pavlov says, that right? You have to write now classical conditioning theory is given by the Ivan Pavlov. Huh? So it talks about conditioning means you to get the response from the artificial stimulus. Hana, you have to define all the things, right? So in your word mein, if you're talking about in your word mein na half page or near about 1/3 page you can write in conclusion, right? 1 page. In conclusion, I can say that, this is a learning theory. Student should, teacher should teach to the student by condition to the student also, right? So, matlab, in conclusion part, na, you can write your views over there. Okay, but whatever Ivan Pavlov has said in the theories, you have to write. Naturally, you have to give the, one experiment, honey. It was given by the Ivan Pavlov. If trial and error theory comes, you have to talk about the laws of learning, all the 3 laws, right? Up now in your 3rd paper, if the questions come, what do you understand by teaching? Define the features of the teaching and what are the levels of the teaching. Okay, so in the levels of the teaching, you can talk about all the 3 levels. Understanding level, memory level, understanding or reflection level. If you have clear the concept in starting, then later on you can write that in your views also, right guys? ऐसा नहीं है कि you can't write in your views also. Once the concept is clear in your mind, then you can write it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. So prepare for the test. Okay, in the next Sunday. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.